So guys, we're going to be trying to explain the Riemann sum formula. Okay, let's say you had a weird graph like this and the formula is above, as you can see. And let's say you had a weird graph that goes like this. This is the point A, and this is the point B on the x-axis. You want to find the area between them. Okay, so what you would do is you'd split these up into small triangles, mashallah, to small rectangles, yeah? And if you sum up the area of these rectangles, you'll approximately get the whole area under the curve, right? Well, here's the thing. Well, let's split these rectangles into small intervals and call them delta x. Delta means small, and x, well, you're on the x-axis, right? So yeah, that's where the name comes from. So yeah, this is delta x as well, and this is delta x as well. Okay, yeah, علينا. Delta x as well. And this distance is called A, right? You have the point A over here, so this distance is A. So what we're going to do is if we find the area of this rectangle and add up to the rest, well, we should get approximately the whole area, right? And this point is on the y-axis. It's going to be f of some point, call it C, and let's call it C0. How about that? And this point is going to be called f of C1, and so on and so forth. So the area of this rectangle, this weird rectangle, is going to be delta x multiplied by f of c0. صح? So this whole thing is going to be f of c0 multiplied by delta x. And we don't take this height, we just take the height beside it. Okay, and let's go for the next rectangle, this rectangle. It's going to be delta x multiplied by f of c1. صح? And the next rectangle is f of x is delta x multiplied by f of c2. And so on and so forth. Yeah. Now all we have to do is find formulas for delta x and C3. But we're adding up the same things, huh? So we're basically doing sigma delta x multiplied by f of c something, c number. K is a number. K could be 1, could be 2, could be 0. As you can see, we're summing up 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Yada, yada, yada. طيب. So let's find the formula for delta x. This whole interval is b minus a, صح? This whole distance is b, and this distance is a. So b minus a is this, you know? So this interval is b minus a, and we need to split it up into 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be b minus a over 4, and that's delta x. That's the small distance over here. Now here's the thing. If we wanted to split it into 5, we'd say 5. If we want to split it into 6, we'd say 6. But we don't know the amount of numbers, so let's call it n. So b minus a over n. So we found a formula for delta x. Let's find the formula for c. So here we go. C is the x value, right? If you have f of x, that equals y, yeah? The height. Y is the height. صح? So your C is just going to be your x value over here, let's say. You know? So what's your first x value? This x value. So it's going to be this whole distance. صح? And this whole distance is going to be a plus delta x. You know? And this distance is going to be a. صح? So what's a? A is just a plus 0 delta x. And this distance is going to be a plus delta x. That's c1. So c0 is a plus 0 delta x. C1 is equal to a plus delta x. And c2 is equal to a plus 2 delta x. And c3 is equal to a plus 3 delta x. And so on and so forth, you know. So ck is equal to a plus k delta x. So what we're summing up right now is delta x multiplied by f of ck, right? Not only that, but k goes from 0 to however many intervals you have, you know, so it goes to n, and it keeps going. So we're summing all of this up, yeah, and we start from k equals, oh please don't do that, oh please. If you start from k equals 0, you include this rectangle. If you start from k equals 1, you start from this rectangle. صح? So in the book, we start from k equals 1 because the interval is from a to b, right? So k equals 1 to n. N is the amount of intervals you want. So k goes from 1 to n, some number, you know? But here's the thing. N needs to be extremely small. N is not going to be 5 or 6. N is going to be, like a million. What the actual hell? It's going to be a million, let's say. Very, very, very big number. So delta x is going to be b minus a over a million, let's say. So we say that delta x is extremely small and n goes to infinity. It could be bigger than a million, by the way. It could be 10 to the power of 24. So n goes to infinity, gets bigger and bigger. So we say limit as n goes to infinity. And well, this is your formula. We just found your formula. And if you were to expand this formula, as I said, delta x is just b minus a over n, and ck is just, a plus del k delta x, and delta x is just b minus a over n. You just found the Riemann sum, and that's where the formula comes from. Now, let's use the Riemann sum in a question. How about that? K goes from, I said k goes from 1 to n, f of ck delta x. Let's say they told you, oh, you have the integral from 0 to 2, x squared dx. Find the integral using the Riemann sum. Well, here we go. This is your b, this is your a. So immediately, you can find delta x. Delta x is b minus a over n. It's going to be 2 minus 0 over n. So 2, oh my god, 2 over n. Yeah? Okay, and what's your ck going to be? Your ck is a plus k delta x. So what's a? A is 0. It's going to be 0 plus. What's k? Well, we don't know what k is. And we know what delta x is from here. So 2 over 2n. Sorry, 2 over n multiplied by k. So ck is going to be 2k over n. So let's substitute that into the formula. So you have limit as n goes to infinity. Sigma k goes from 1 to n. F of ck, صح? F of ck, but ck is just 2k over n, صح? So 2k over n multiplied by delta x. But what's delta x? Well, it's 2 over n. Okay, and now they told you that you have this integral, صح? Well, what's your f of x? F of x is x squared. So you're basically applying this over here. So it's going to be 2k. So your f of x is x squared. So your f of 2k over n is going to be 2k over n all squared, صح? So let's input that over there. So your formula changes into this 2k over n all squared multiplied by 2 over n. And you know what's funny? This is solvable. So let's put this over there. What do we get? So we're going to get 2 over n cubed multiplied by k squared. Here I'm just simplifying, by the way, just simplifying. N goes to infinity. We can put this out. Do you know why? Because your sigma depends on k only. So anything related to k stays inside, and anything not related to k goes outside. So we can take this out and we can say, okay, limit as n goes to infinity. You have 2 over n cubed sigma k goes from 1 to n k squared. Now we know a formula for this. The formula for this is going to be n into n plus 1 to, I believe, this over 6. So it's yeah, over 6. And let's just put this over here, cubed, and you have the limit as n goes to infinity. Now here's the thing, we can solve this. So the limit as n goes to infinity, 2 cubed is 8 over n cubed, well that's n cubed, and then you have n into n plus 1 into n plus 1 over 6. Now, if you've noticed, you have n cubed over here, and here you're going to have n cubed somehow, somewhere. And what do we know about limit as n goes to infinity of a n cubed over b n cubed, let's say? The answer is going to be a over b, right? So the coefficient here is 1, and the coefficient here we need to find it. Yeah? Yeah, so here we go. Let's get the n cubed value. N cubed value is going to be this multiplied by this. So it's going to be 2n multiplied by n multiplied by n. So actually, no, I don't want to confuse you guys. So n squared plus n, I just distributed into this, and then we have 2n plus 1. I'm just simplifying the numerator, so we have 2n cubed plus n squared plus 2n squared plus n. Yeah, so it's going to be 2n cubed plus 3n squared plus n over 6. So I just simplify the numerator, and then you have n cubed. Yeah, so we can bring these together. It's going to be 8 over 6, 2n cubed plus 3n squared plus n over n cubed. And of course, you have the limit as n goes to infinity. Now, this is a constant. We can pull it out of the limits, so it becomes 8 over 6 2n cubed plus 3n squared plus n over n cubed. Yeah, well, as I said, an cubed over bn cubed, limit as n goes to infinity, is just going to be a over b, so here it's going to be 2 over 1. So this limit simplifies to 2 over 1, and then you have 8 over 6 outside. And well, your answer is just going to be 8 over 3. And yeah, that's basically it. It's not that hard actually. Um, let's see, how long is the video? Not that long, 11 minutes. Should I solve another question? You know what? No, I shouldn't.